I'm Jeff.
And I'm Tom.
And you know what? I want you to, it's a beautiful day. So where'd it go? I want you to head to the Wyndham Golf Course, get a bucket of balls, and hit them as far as you can. You know,
I do that almost 2 or 3 times a week.
You know, I'll
be doing that a little bit later too, because I got to make up for my league on Monday night.
Oh, okay.
We got rained out.
You know,
it's our tournament
I've
too.
got a great idea how they could make more money doing it. They could put the elected officials out there, and you could hit the golf balls and try and hit an elected.
And if you hit one
official, you get
points.
You get another bucket of balls.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, I think that
so you can take all the council people, the people,
council
on the board
people,
of finance,
right? Everybody.
Put the mayor right in the middle. It's like Topgolf.
Right. You know,
each one gets certain points, but the mayor in the middle gets the most.
Well, the other thing too is you got to chain them to a cinder block so they can't run away.
Oh, okay.
You know, you give them a 3-foot circle.
I like that part about letting them run because.
Well, you can't let them run too far. You know, because that's what they do when it comes to policy and everything. They run too far, and they end up running over the citizens.
Oh, there you go. I was wondering where you were going to go with that.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm always going somewhere worthwhile. You know. Anyway, no, I'm not going to attack somebody right now.
Let's congratulate Lieutenant Miller. He's right now our acting chief.
Acting chief.
And he's been around the block here for a long time. And
we have an acting president too.
We do? He's not acting. He knows what he's doing.
Nobody's seen him.
He
does.
He knows
sitting
what
on
he's
the beach
doing.
And he's enjoying
you guys just don't realize what you have.
It's like a disease.
It's just the political season. You guys always got to rank on these guys. He's done the best for you. You guys, people are loaded with money in the stock market. You've done the best that you've ever done.
Well, yeah, wait till they change the tax code on that.
Gas prices are coming down. You know, everything's starting to come down.
Oh, sure.
You know,
including the economy, the country, everything. We're going to all
things always come around.
We're going to be calling up the Willie Diaper Bank because of the crap we're going to be in. That's
if it's a small business, you know, we help them out.
Anyway, hey, listen.
Have you watched any of the convention?
Whose?
The guy's politics, right? He loves politics. He's always talking about it.
Why would I?
Why wouldn't you watch both of them? I did. I mean, this is how you find out, you know, who's who. When you're blinded by one side.
No.
Yeah, you know. I forget about you guys. You guys got that tunnel
You
vision.
really think I want to spend any amount of time listening to Hillary Clinton?
No, it's called tunnel vision.
I mean, come on.
It's just
I'd
not
rather
Hillary.
pull a toenail
we had
out.
Oprah on last night. What?
Nothing.
I thought she did a great job.
I'm sure you did.
So far, it's been a real good convention.
Yeah, you know.
Unlike the other one.
Well, you know, one of the things that strikes me funny about the convention is they got a fence up all the way around the place, and you need ID to get in.
Of course you do, because it's a paid
but you don't need ID to vote. But you Democrats need ID to let the people come in.
I did like it that she went to Wisconsin and went to the same place that Trump had his convention. I think this was like a day or two ago, and packed the place. Okay, more than what the Republicans had there. She packed the place. I think you guys are up for a good awakening coming up.
All right. Well, anyway.
If we have enough money after I pay my Eversource bill, though.
Well, yeah, I was going to go down that. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm working hard on not contributing, but this.
If I got to contribute, you're contributing.
No. See, being a smart Republican, I only contributed $46.91.
Yeah, and I did as a good Democrat because I know that the money's going to be pushed around. I did $175.
Yeah. For the same.
That's why, because I guess I didn't conserve the energy.
Right. So, you know.
I can't sleep without the air conditioner
They
on.
rewarded me for being green.
They did.
And using less.
Did you turn your pool off and your pool toward green?
No, my pool is nice and clear and everything. You know.
He's doing something fishy.
Well, you take the meter off every other day.
There it is.
There you go.
No, speaking of that, I don't know if she's listening or not, but my wife is actually, she went out, read the meter, because it gives you the meter reading on your bill.
Yep.
So she's out there the other day watching. What are you doing? She says, I'm watching this meter every day. And I'm going around shutting lights off. I'm unplugging things. I'm making sure that meter ain't going up as fast as it did before.
Yep.
All right? Then well, there it is.
That's all right.
Right? So then I'm sitting there going, well, what are you going to do with the pool? You didn't notice, did you? I said, no. She says, I knocked your timer down 2 hours.
Absolutely. I run mine on a timer, and the water's still clean. I'll cut it back.
Yeah.
Till it starts to get a tinge, and then I'll increase it, and I'll find that.
Then I said to her, do you know how much energy you use when you go to take a shower? Okay, these 3 days, 4 days of showers in there. So now we got a list. We're only allowed once a week now. So
once a week. It's okay. It's okay. Go see. I don't use the shower to run the hot water heater because I go out and roll around in the pool.
Yeah.
And let the chlorine do the job.
I didn't think of that. I have salt water, and that could have been better for me, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here comes my next door neighbors tomorrow. You might read my name in a paper again.
There are a lot of things you can do.
Can't take a shower with all your clothes on, can you?
Yeah, you can.
Well, how the heck's that work?
Well, you use the soap and you.
How's that work?
You wash your clothes at the same time you're washing yourself.
Okay.
You just make sure you wring them out. You put them over the clothesline. You got a clothesline?
No, I'm going to have Dennis O'Brien come over and hold my stuff up for me now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I use a clothesline. Things like that. I can cut back.
I don't know if he can keep his hands up that long anymore.
No, probably not. You'd have to put him on his mustache.
Yeah, there you go. But seriously, $175.
Yeah.
We had a $690 bill this past month, and just like I said, $175 was paid to pay for this Millstone, whatever they want to consider saving keeping it open.
It's not just Millstone.
And then the people that couldn't pay their bills
because of COVID
for 4 years, basically.
Yeah,
4 years.
For 4 years, which is incredibly insane.
Yeah.
And I still don't hear a major outcry from the citizens of the state.
Oh, it's been happening. People have been signing petitions. It's been still on the news. People are upset.
And the politicians don't seem to be doing anything.
Well, a lot of the times, Jeff, too, I think that and I've heard a lot of people, what are you going to do? They got you wrapped around a barrel. What are you going to do at this particular point? Well, you can, yes, some of them say you vote them out. Well, they're not running. That's not to November.
Right.
You're paying this bill, I believe, until May. You're going to pay the bills
to November, yep.
Well, I think right now it's somewhere around May. It's 10 months.
Yep. And then we have the electric car charging
stations
that
one there, I mean, look, I don't like paying for that either because at some point, whoever your energy people are throughout, I don't care what state you're in, ours is Eversource, someone's going to be making the money, so they should be paying for that. If this is the way to go, and this is better for our planet, then to be quite honest with you, the business that is making the money off of the charging of the station, you add that into the bill when you're charging. Why should I pay for it if I'm not? I can't afford a car like that at this particular point. So why in the world should I be paying for that?
No, I agree with you.
But it's $3, and could I pay the $3 versus this $175? The $175 thing has really got me toked because
all you got to do is give up one coffee a week at Dunkin' Donuts, and you got
for
your
$175.
No, for your $3.
Yeah, there you go. One week.
Right. But once again, we have to give something up. One way or the other.
I think along
we sell math.
I'll pull the same thing in that we. No, believe me.
No,
I tried it already for him out there, and it didn't get much.
All right.
But you pull us into the same thing with our town when our taxes went up, and you ask them all the question. The people that are on the board, the people who are on the town council, on the board of finance, none of them had an issue. They knew that your taxes were going to go up. They were told it wasn't going to go up this much. They didn't do their homework. They didn't know.
Obviously.
Okay? This same thing comes across. And I get it. COVID hit. Everything stopped. You had a good year and a half. Then you started opening things back up. Eversource has a business.
Yep.
They were playing underneath the rules. You can't shut off certain people's electricity during the winter. That's every year.
Yep.
Okay? But when it comes to open part, if people aren't paying the bills or at least making an attempt to pay their bills, then they shut them off.
Right.
well, the state didn't want them to shut them off at this point in time. Okay, I get it. It's COVID. It's the first year and a half of it. But this thing went on for what? Almost 4 years.
4 years. But, you know,
4 years. In the last 2 years, why did they need this?
No, they didn't. They didn't. They were just playing the game, running the gambit.
Well, they are. And the same people that didn't pay their bill, Jeff, are still going to play the game because those people, they don't make much money.
Nope.
Okay? And there's reasons for it. Some of them honestly can't. But there is a good amount of them that just won't go get a job that pays a little bit more because if they make a little bit more, they're off the programs.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And so right now in this state, if you didn't pay your bill, there's another program that you can go on.
Correct.
Okay? And if you pay a certain portion of your bill,
they forgive it.
For 1 year, all the money you owed is forgiven.
So
who's paying that forgiveness?
Right.
You and me.
Right.
And everybody else out there that went to work every day and had a job trying to pay their bills, with their kids and everything. And now I got to subsidize everything. I'm a Democrat. I understand that our party, and I still think and you got a lot of Republicans, in your gut, if you've got morals, you help people out.
You want to help people.
But you don't help out people to give them free for the rest of their life. That's not what it's for.
No.
All these things were set up to help people get through the hard times and somehow get them to a point where they got jobs and everything. We've got a lot of people out there that just don't go to work anymore.
Correct. But,
because we're subsidizing them for everything. Yeah. Free phones, free electricity, free this, free that.
But, when we were, back when I was growing up, you get a no. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with saying, well, geez, I can't pay my bill. I said, well, if you can't pay the bill, you can't have it. It's it's like this affordable housing you hear. Well, if you can't afford to live in the town, don't blame the town. It's on you, to work harder, to make more money to be able to afford to live in that particular town. This goes back to the trophies for everyone. We're dumbing down everything. We're bringing everything down to make a common denominator. You're taking, people like yourself that make money and have a large bill. You pay a lot, so people that don't do anything can come up towards you, and you go down towards them. And
like I said, though, Jeff,
it doesn't really work.
For me personally, and I can speak for my wife because we talk a lot about this stuff. We're okay helping people out, but
you're going to do this.
There is a certain point that you sit there and go, how far do you have to go? Am I supposed to subsidize their whole life for the rest of their life?
Wait a second. You just got through saying, and I'm going to round it off.
Yeah.
You paid an extra $150 this month, and this is going to go on for what, another year?
Well, it's 10 months.
10 months. So
supposedly.
can you just mail them in $1,500 now and be done with it?
I don't
know. Because that's what you're going to pay, or you're going to pay a, $1,640 or whatever.
Would I pay the $1,500? No. I want my politicians to go back in to a special session. You're not going to sit there and tell me that you don't have some money to offset this. This is ridiculous.
What are you going to do with all these?
When you can have clean campaign financing and give people money that don't even have people running against them.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Absurd.
Then you got money somewhere else to help pay for this.
Absolutely. The other thing,
I'd like to see how many. I really would like to see how many state reps and state senators in this state that don't have anybody running against them, see who took the clean money.
Yep.
Because why should you be taking the clean money just to get your name out? You're already won.
Pretty much.
Well, you have. There's nobody running against you.
So you're right.
Okay, put a motion up. Have the Secretary of the State cast one affirmative ballot for you. It's done.
Yep. And you're right. $30,000 for a state rep, and it's a little more for the Senate. It would add up. I don't think it'd be gangbusters, but it would. Once again, it's being smart with money. The other thing is, we're running in the heating season. There are a lot of houses and apartment buildings that are electric heat. Is there going to be a special subsidy for those people?
Well, there's a lot of the rules from last year have changed.
Yeah.
I know that they have to, all the annual income levels have changed. They actually have gone, what should I say, up or down. It's going to be a little bit harder to get into some of these programs. Look, again, I'm going to sit there and say, when I was a young kid, your church-based places helped out.
Well,
okay, and we still do have some of them. We didn't have a lot of these subsidy programs back when I was a kid. Back when our parents were in, you didn't have them at all. It was your church-based groups that helped you out.
But the church-based groups are disappearing.
Okay, yeah.
Basically, you're seeing. I'm going to use the word atheist, but the general population seems to be going in that direction. Where they're not going to church, they're not tithing the 10% and this, that, and the other thing. And, there are weekends I go to church and I'm guilty. I didn't.
So maybe if that
10%.
certain party wins the presidency back, since they're thinking they can control everybody's life and tell them what to do, maybe you guys can pass a bill and say you can't be an atheist.
There you go. Why not?
I'm just putting that in because you guys seem to think you can
hey, listen,
control everything.
It doesn't make any difference to me.
Little dig.
It's all right. It's all right. You can dig all you want, because you're the party of democracy, right? And you just
no. I won't say that. We're the party.
You just nominated Kamala.
No, that's tonight. Don't say that's tonight.
Without any primary or anything. I mean, she was coronated. Oh, you're so full of snot. It's terrible.
Did you have a primary?
Yeah.
You called that a primary?
Yeah.
And you called that a guy that runs for office and doesn't want to debate anybody that's on the ticket?
That's not true.
He didn't debate one person.
He
didn't debate anybody. He debated himself.
He debated Joe, and look what happened to poor Joe.
Listening,
oh, my good God.
And I'm still listening.
I can't wait till he debates Kamala.
I don't think he'll do it. And if he does, I'll guarantee you this, and we'll see if I'm wrong. It's all going to be about Kamala's looks.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because he can't stay on message.
Oh, yes, he will.
He can't talk, and please.
Yes, he will.
In the last 4 months, what has the guy said? Because I've taped on a lot of them. Give me something that sits there and tells me exactly what he's going to do. Because we can all say cut taxes. We can all say we're not going to give money and tax a waitress or waiter. Okay?
Well,
give me substance about what you're going. Give me substance about what you're going to do. There isn't one thing that he's put on the table yet that's done anything.
Let's get them on the debate.
I would love it.
See.
I still don't think he's going to debate.
We'll see how Kamala comes up with her fruit salad.
Because she's too smart for him.
Oh, geez, you're so full of snot.
She's too smart for him.
Yep. Don't blow your brains too hard. There won't be anything left. You keep thinking like that.
You had some very smart people that were running for the presidency in the Republican Party. And you guys drinking the water, you fell for him again. He's still on that escalator, and he doesn't know he's not off the damn thing yet.
Oh, man.
The escalator's going down. It ain't going up.
Do they mail you your talking points every day?
No, I thought you meant the check. I get the check.
No, you get the check. Okay. Bought and paid for once again. But anyway.
I do get that. I do get that text every hour from somebody in the Democratic Party about giving them money.
Oh. Yeah,
I'm sure it's on the Republican side too, but I mean, it's just
that
mind-boggling. Stop.
That stuff is horrible. I'll agree with you there. Whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans, whether it's local or state or town, everybody freaking wants money.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. And what I really want to
what's good about this part of the race in this part of the country?
I want to see policy.
Is that you and I can have a difference of opinion, and this is what America's about. And I don't hate you, and you don't hate me.
Correct.
There are people out there, even in this community, that even with their own kids, that people aren't talking to some of their family because of where they're standing on this.
Well,
this is ridiculous.
I think that is ridiculous.
Okay?
But
whoever wins. Am I gonna all of a sudden be in the garbage chute if Trump wins? No.
No.
Are you going to be in that same boat if Kamala wins? No. It's ridiculous.
But if Trump wins, I'm going to stand on your head and
I
go,
know
nah,
that.
nah, nah, nah.
I'm gonna. It's going to be a tough week. But I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that
All
now,
right.
unless she makes a big mistake here.
Well, every time she opens her mouth.
No. Look. I wasn't. I've listened to her over the past couple of weeks.
And
I think tonight
she can
will
read off
hopefully
a
sell me
teleprompter.
completely with her.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think they've done a very good job, in showing who she is right now with her family. And I really think that people are starting to see it. That's why you're seeing the polls change the way they are.
I want to see the policies.
Well,
I mean, she's Joe Biden's policies.
Yes, she is. She probably. There's no doubt about that. I'm not going to sit there.
Right.
So you don't like Joe policies. That's why you like the other side.
Yeah.
The people that are in the middle to the other one, they're either going to jump and go to her or they're going to go to Trump. My feeling is, just like what happened the last time, I think you're going to find the people that are considered moderate people, whether they're Democrats, whether they're Republicans or independent, I think you're going to see them come back over.
Pelosi's already got the fix in.
I didn't understand why they had her get up and speak last night, but
yeah,
maybe that's to say the old guard were changing and we've handed the baton. So maybe it wasn't just Joe Biden handing it over.
Nah, Pelosi's not going to give up. You kidding me? She's so.
But I don't think she could have picked up the baton.
Power hungry and power thirsty. It's ridiculous. But anyway, hey, listen, back to our local here. Now, we're not done with the electricity here. We talked about the EV tax coming up. And then isn't there another rate increase for July of next year that's coming into play?
Well, they've asked for it, right?
Yes, they've asked for it.
I don't think it's voted yet.
Yep, but they've asked for another rate increase.
How can I'm going to? How in the world? Look, your major companies. I don't care who they are. They're all making money, making more money than they've ever made. Eversource is making money. They're paying big bucks to their CEOs and vice presidents and everything else. If it's hurting that bad, why are the bonuses still going out? Okay? And so we're paying for this. Now, on the other side, they could cut some corners here to help out the people, but they're not going to. Because they're a company, they want their money. If you own the company, or I want my money. Right, there's no doubt about it.
They're a stockholder organization too, so they have to answer to the stockholders.
But they could have they could have ate almost all of this,
I'm sure,
or even part of this, to sit there and say, something, to the taxpayers, they could have done this and made every politician look bad. When this thing popped up, they could have sat there and said, we're going to cut the rates for 10 months in half because we're gonna help you guys out with this. They would have been smart to do that, but of course,
possibly. But look at what our elected officials have done about when there's a power outage. You have to have the power on within so many hours.
There's been a power outage in this town for about 4 years.
Well, ever since the mayor took over? Is that what
I didn't say that.
Out?
I didn't say that.
Well, it's what you inferred. But anyway, hey, listen, we'll be right back so we can pay for our power outage. Hey, welcome back to the Republic Forum. I'm Jeff and... Oh, silence. Anyway, Thomas took my advice, and he is on his way to the Wyndham Golf Course to hit a bucket of balls. So if you want to talk to Thomas and see how he's doing, you're going to have to head out to the fairways there in Wyndham, 184 Country Club Road, North Wyndham, Connecticut. So anyway, I guess it just got too hot in here for Thomas with all the political talk. But anyway, wish him the best. Hope he has a great round. We did not get a call to tell us that Tom DeVivo was on his way out there to be a target. So, if that had been the case, you would have come back to silence because I would have gladly went and bought a bucket of balls. Even though I don't know how to hit a golf ball, and don't golf, I would have made an effort. But anyway, I think it's a good fundraising opportunity for Tommy D. So anyway, we were talking about the electricity and on, and we've watched food prices go up, and we're going to see continued electric rate increases. Hopefully this winter, we're not going to get hit with oil prices going up for everybody that heats with oil and things like that. And hopefully gasoline prices will come down even farther and make life a little easier for all of us. But, while Tom was carrying on, my personal feeling is after you help somebody for a little bit, it's okay to say, no, we're not going to do it anymore. You've got to step up to the plate and be responsible for you. Okay, I think if we continue down this road of, constantly saying, well, it's all right, we'll help, but help has to have an end. It's like the old adage, if you teach a person to fish, they can feed themselves for the rest of their life instead of just handing them a fish. And I think the government and the towns and the state need to adopt that policy. Section 8 or housing or food assistance should only run so long. And, once again, it would make people get out into the workforce. We always hear that, more people are working than ever before. And if that's really the case, then there should be less and less people off these policies. We shouldn't be seeing, money added on to our electric bills. Here's my suggestion. Keep track of what you pay for public benefits, and then at the end of the year, write it off as a tax, as a donation. Because, this is taxation without our representation. They didn't come out and ask me if it was all right to raise my bill by, whatever it is, to do that. This is just another unforeseen tax. And, I don't know if there's anybody out there in the legalese that's going to challenge this, but, when it comes to state rules, town rules, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that isn't really legal. And just because they have the larger pocketbook or sometimes maybe the bigger stick doesn't mean they should win. And, we shouldn't give up, because what you're doing is you're giving up your constitutional rights, your God-given rights to life, liberty, pursuit, and the pursuit of happiness, And how can you be happy if they're taking so much money away from you that you can't pay your bills, or you're struggling to pay your bills and things like that? So I think that's important to do. But the other thing, too, is, that just came out in the news, too, is that the insurance companies in Hartford, they want a 9%, they're going to ask for a 9% increase on your insurance policies for single people, and they want a 12% insurance boost for small businesses and things like this. So, the average person out there is getting hit from every single corner, whether it's insurance, it's electric, whether it's the town taxes going up, on and on. And there are a lot of reasons for these things, and they're not all really necessarily good reasons. They just kind of feed upon themselves, and they make it tougher and tougher and tougher for the average person, to get by and realize the American dream. I mean, interest rates now to buy a house is 6.5%? 6% if you've got good credit and a decent down payment. And it's keeping the housing prices up and, elevated at the present time. And one of the things, and I'll talk about some of the towns I do a lot more in, out in Columbia, Hebron, Glastonbury, Marlboro and stuff like this. They talk about affordable housing. And, when you're doing things like this, it makes housing even less affordable for people because they have less money. And I think I started to talk about it the last show. You have these open space committees. They buy up all this land that can't be used, which raises the price of raw land. You have farms that sell development rights so that nobody can build houses on them, and they maintain, stay in a farm status for, I think it's around 100 years. That raises the price of property, too. We've had lumber go up, and a lot of this has happened since we went through COVID. It seems like, that just elevated everything. There's still supply chain issues. And we talked about that last week, where, businesses are having trouble getting certain products. They're just not getting here. Now, you look at the world stage, and can you think about what would happen if we were to get into a little skirmish with China? For China, crying out loud, half of everything we use comes from China. You wouldn't be able to buy a solar panel. They're all made in China. What about cheap electric cars? The cheapest ones are made in China. things like that. You walk around your house, your clothes are made in Asia, this, that, and the other thing. You open the hood of your car, your electronics, the little relays, this, that, and the other thing. It's made in China, and okay, some of it's made in Taiwan, but we've got to bring work back home. And, that's something I want to hear. And I tease Tom, I don't listen to the DNC and the RNC. And, while he's here, I can say he's FOS because I listen to everything, And I want to, and Donald was doing it. He was bringing businesses back. And, after Joe got in and changed some of the policies, they stopped coming back and left again. And I think it's important that we become more independent. I was listening to somebody on the radio talk about, and here's one of the big things, and it's energy. Everything takes energy today, whether you're making a plastic bottle, you're, shipping chicken to the grocery store or raising the chickens, on and on. It all takes energy, whether it's electricity or it's gasoline, I think generating electricity with natural gas is a good, viable idea. We need it. We know the grid's not up to doing what we need it to do. Some of it's just crazy talk. I'll get somebody in that actually works Highline and this and that, and we can talk about it with them. But all your transformers, if you go down your street and you see a transformer, if you were to lose 20 of those in this town, do you think there are 20 in the state to take those places? Maybe not. Maybe not. And never mind the large ones here and there. And, once again, for 10 points, where they're made? They're made in China. And they come across the ocean. Now, that's something that's always kind of flabbergasted me. They can make it cheaper, ship it all the way to the United States, distribute it throughout the United States, and sell it for less than we can make it. Where's the problem with this? What's wrong with this picture? A whole list of things, and what's going to happen is, all they'd have to do is stop all their imports and we'd crumble. All right, we don't need World War III. They can do it just like that. If our electric goes down or the oil prices go crazy, this, that, and the other thing, you talk about, public benefits, there won't be any. So, there really needs, and I understand Tom, and he's always going to tease me about Democrats, and I'm going to tease him, about Republicans, and I'll tease him about Democrats. But, we need real substance out there. We need debates, and, and as far as I'm concerned, we need to push the debates. Trump's got to debate Kamala. Kamala's got to debate Donald Trump, and it's got to be more than one. It should be 2 or 3, and it should be on substance, not feel good, giddy, and word salad stuff, but on policy, real policy. Where are we going? Where are we going to do it? And you got to watch the flip flop from both sides. Because if it's a policy that seems to be gaining ground with the Democrats, the Republicans will use it, and vice versa. Although the Democrats do seem to steal more policies from the Republicans because they actually make physical sense, versus I want to feel good, so I'm going to laugh a lot, and we're going to have a good time while we're all going to the poorhouse and paying more money and public benefits and more gasoline taxes and more this and more that. But, hey, if that's what makes you feel good, by all means. In fact, I'm sure they would be happy if you worked all week long and just signed your paycheck over to them. They'd probably love it. They might even spend, 50 some odd cents now for a stamp and mail you a thing? Oh, no, they would use a mass postage, so it would be even less. Or they'd send you a postcard and say thank you, and things like that. The other thing that I find sad, okay, I'll use the word as sad, is, they have the fence around the DNC, but they have people dressed up as IUDs and abortion pills and all this stuff marching around and giving this stuff away. On one portion, I'm saying, well, if you're dumb enough to go to the convention and feel you need a vasectomy, you're probably right. You need a vasectomy because you don't have the brain power, and I don't want you procreating. How's that? My opinion. Maybe not yours, but it works for me. So there's another future Democrat that's probably not going to, raise any more Democrats. Good thing. Same thing with the abortion pill. I mean, come on, people. And there is no federal ban on abortion, and they just lie to you constantly about that. Donald Trump does not want a federal ban on abortion. It's back in the state's hands, and if you live in Connecticut, we are a pro-abortion state. So, I don't know exactly what the rules are, but I know you can get one here if you want. So, you can't look at that. But and I'm a pocketbook voter. There's no question about it. I look at the numbers. The other thing too is what I need to think about are my grandchildren. We were just talking about, they gave away 4 years of electricity to people that couldn't pay the bill. Now we're paying the bill. The deficit. Was it $21 billion or trillion? Billion, trillion. I think we're in the trillions. And who's going to pay that bill? Are we going to get a notice in the mail one day that says, okay, your United States deficit portion of the bill is $2,500 a month? For the next 3 years to pay down the deficit? Or is it going to be $1,000 a month? Or something like that. Are they going to do that to us with, kind of these unfunded mandates like, our state officials gave away to help out Eversource here? So, yeah, you got to think about those. And people that have a plan to help lower things, I think it's very important that we look at that and we pay attention because, it's just not about today. You and I feel today, but it's not necessarily, or it shouldn't be our only concern. It should be a lot about tomorrow and the effect it's going to have on our children and their children's children. So once again, everything has consequences, whether you vote yay or nay. Sometimes we don't spend enough time thinking about the consequences, especially long term. That ice cream tastes really good now, but long term, is it giving you diabetes and things like this? And it's just like the food pyramid and the pharmaceutical agency. They come out with all these cures for all these diseases that we self-inflict. I mean, look what sugar does to people. It's horrid, and yet Coca-Cola, you look at the bottle, it's 56% sugar, or, just look at the numbers on these things, and we do it to ourselves. It's time to stop being a lemming. It's time to start reading the labels and start eating clean. And if you're eating clean and you're, getting some type of exercise, you're not going to have these problems. And, unfortunately, it took me a heart attack to realize and change my ways, and I happen to be lucky. Some people will disagree, but I survived, and I've changed. I've dropped a lot of weight. I've maintained it and doing very well and learning, to eat clean and do these type of things. And, it's working, but, everybody out there can do it. Granted, today wasn't that great. I had a chili dog, something that not in the top 10 food group items you should eat. But, if I have a chili dog once a month, it's okay. I wouldn't eat a chili dog every day, but it just pays to be a lot smarter, too. And I know it's more expensive. It's a lot more expensive to go in and buy, organic this or organic that. But, a lot of these pesticides now that they use and the growth, I'm going to call them growth hormones, that they use on the plants and on and on. What's it called? And I'm sure the show on Wednesday, GMOs. I'm sure the show on Wednesday probably talks a lot about GMOs. I mean, you want to get Lisa going on that, and oh my goodness gracious, and all the things out there in nature that were provided for us on this earth will fix our ailments. But, most of it's self-inflicted. So we have to learn to stop doing that. And we have to learn to stop doing that when we vote for people. This is why it gets me so upset when you talk about, voting for people and it feels good. I like feels good too. I got to tell you that. But once again, if I can't afford to feel good, or they're taking money from me, so other people that feel good that I don't know, I'm not all that feel goody about it. And, I just got a text from somebody talking about charging EVs, and they said it's complicated on the cost to charge an EV. And, it very well might be. I mean, if you've got a solar roof and a Tesla system and a Tesla car, yeah, and you had a lot of money, but you got state subsidies or federal subsidies to buy the car, which who's paying those subsidies? The non-electric car people. I mean, come on. It's just common sense. If they just keep taking more and more of you every single day, eventually you're going to say no or you're going to die. It's like bleeding. They're just bleeding you slow. You are nothing more than a money machine for them to continue on with their party that you get to pay for. How's that for being, real just out and out? Everybody in Washington goes poor, they come out millionaires. I mean, some people go in millionaires and they come back millionaires. And that's fine and dandy. But, there are a lot there that just go to make money and then they stay there forever. They make rules that are good for them that we can't abide by or play by. That's not right. It's not right. The system is severely broken, and one of the real reasons I think they don't like Donald Trump and they give him such a hard time in Washington D.C. because he sees the corruption in Washington D.C. There is not a corrupted. Well, maybe Chicago. Chicago's pretty corrupt, and then you get down into some of the big cities in the South, Mississippi and Louisiana. There's a lot of corruption in some of those cities. But Washington, D.C., oh, man. If you're not on the take there or you're bucking the system, you're either in legal trouble or they just get rid of you. And they can do that. But hey, listen, we had Thursday last Thursday. I didn't remember talking about it at all or mentioning it. But this weekend, I want you to pay attention because the Brooklyn Fair starts. I think it starts Thursday afternoon. I want you to go out to the Brooklyn Fair, have fun, take the family. And, when you get back next week, we're going to have a guest come in to talk about what's going on over in the Middle East. I think it's going to be an eye-opener, a gentleman from West Hartford who's associated with all these things, and we're going to get a real live, in-person point of view of what's going on. And I think it'll be really great because it's not a major news media with a spin. But, hey, listen, hope to see you next week or at least hear from you. And till then, good night, God bless.